morning is our final day in Montenegro and our final day in Kotor Bay. It's going to be sad to say goodbye to the apartment. It has been a stunning apartment, and the guy actually just came around a few seconds ago. He's been a great host, and he's ordered a taxi for us to go back to the airport as well. So what a guy. But we've just spent all morning just packing. We have to check out by 10 a.m, so we've had to be quick. And then the cleaners are going to come across in a few minutes. He's allowed us to leave our suitcases actually in the apartment until 12 because our flight is later on at 5. So therefore we only have to walk around with our suitcases for 2 hours. But the plan is to get everything that we want to get done in the old town for the first 2 hours and then come get the suitcase and then just chill out in a cafe for the final 2 hours. I think what we're going to do is go and visit the Cat Museum and then go and buy some souvenirs and then just walk around the old town. We had a look in the Cat Museum, but we didn't think it looked that great, so we're not going to go actually into it. It just looked like there was loads of pictures on the wall with cat stuff on it. But one thing we did learn though is that Kotor was actually used to be called Cattario, so that is the link there with the cats. So we've just been walking around the streets for the last sort of half an hour, 45 minutes, looking at a few different shops. I've actually bought myself a souvenir which cost €5, and that'll be added to the collection of souvenirs from each of the countries. And then we've just stopped off at Cattarissimo for an ice cream. And Beth has gone for the fruit mix ice cream, and I have gone for the Oreo with a cone. The cone cost an extra 50 cents, and for each of the scoops it was €2.50, so not too bad, and it tastes pretty delicious. We're now going to continue around the old town, maybe buy a few snacks because we don't think the airport's very big. Well, we saw it wasn't very big, and we don't think there's going to be many shops in there for us to get food and drink before we get on our flight. So we've now gone for a drink to the Hippocampus Hotel, and we've gone up to the 4th floor on the rooftop terrace, and it is absolutely beautiful up here, although it is boiling as there is no wind for some reason. But the guys brought us over a fan, which is perfect. We bought a Fanta and a Coca-Cola, again each for €50, and that is again at the same price as a beer, so that's mad. I've got no idea why it's so expensive, but it's not too bad for €50, and we're going to be heading off home soon, so we're going to go collect the suitcases after this and then we'll head off to the airport. And we've got all of the cases from the apartment, said hello to the cleaner, cooled down for about 5 seconds, and I've brought the cases down to the bottom. I'm now sweating though because you had to come down 2 flights of stairs. It was quite funny though seeing Beth get pooed on by a bird as well. That was hilarious. She then had to go to a restaurant, asked them if she could have a tissue, and they sent her to the toilets and she was able to wipe it off, but that was really funny. Hopefully we'll get quite lucky then as well, and some money will fall our way at some point. We're now going to find somewhere to sit, and then we're going to message our Airbnb host to try and get us a taxi to the airport. So we're going to be about there for an hour and a half, maybe play a couple of card games, have a few drinks, and just chill out for our last remaining hours in Montenegro. So our last meal is at Siempre. We've stopped off just next to the entrance of the old town. We've got some lovely food by the looks of it. So I've gone for a pesto, tomato and mozzarella sandwich. Beth has gone for vegetable tortilla, both €10 as well for so much food, which is pretty good. We've also both ordered some Sprites. They were each €4 each as well. And this is going to be our last meal before we have to head to the airport. And that is it. We have left the Kotor Old Town, just waiting for a taxi on the outskirts. It is absolutely boiling, so I'm hoping the taxi will be here soon. We've just arrived at the airport. I think Beth's bird poo that landed on her arm gave us some good luck, as the taxi driver gave it to us for 20, when usually it's a fixed price at 25. We're now going to head into the airport, but it does look very small like we were thinking earlier. So we've just gone in and dropped our bags off, and we've realised now that the plane is going to be 2 hours and 40 minutes delayed currently. So that could still change. It could come back or go forwards. Hopefully the delay will be a lot less than it says at the moment, but you never know. It does look like most of the flights though going from here do get delayed, because we've looked, seen Berlin's is delayed, seen Tel Aviv's delayed, pretty much every other flight had delay next to it as well. So it looks like it could be a late return back to the UK, but we can enjoy our final few minutes of the sun and the blue skies. So we are through airport security and now waiting for our delayed flight. It is tiny in here, there are no seats either, so we're having to sit on the floor and wait for the flight because it is completely full, all the seating. There's not a single cafe or shop, it is literally just a duty free, which is like a corridor in a supermarket. It's just like one of the aisles all the way down, not much there either. So I'd definitely say this is one of the worst airports that I've ever been to. And we are home 3 hours later than expected. Another few delays again going to Montenegro and back, but it looked like every single flight were getting delays. But it was strange because our flight was delayed because an adult wouldn't put their seatbelt on to begin with, so was told off for doing that. And then once the plane was about to take off, they got out of their seat, took the seatbelt off, and then they had to just basically turn around. Police had to get on, take him off, then they had to do another search to make sure that none of the police or anyone had left a bomb or anything on the plane, and then they were able to take off. The plane then arrived in Montenegro, and then there were weather warnings, so it was delayed even further for us, so we couldn't take off until another half an hour, 45 minutes until after. But we have finally made it home, and it is just past 11. I think it's coming up towards 11:15. But I definitely recommend visiting Montenegro if you ever get the choice to, especially the Kotor Bay region. It is stunning. It is literally like a film set. And I'd say visit the Hyatt as well if you have the money. Apparently it's gone up loads in price since we did it. I think it may have been quite cheap when we booked it because it was a fairly new hotel. But also if you want to stay in the apartment, which is actually in the Old Town, you can do that too. I will have put a link to both of these in the description below. I'll also show you the total up here. So this is the total amount that we've spent on our holidays since the start. So I'd say it's not actually that cheap a holiday. It is quite an expensive holiday, so you definitely need to save up for this one. But if I was to go back to Montenegro again, I'd say it's more of a summer holiday, not really a city break. If you want to go, I'd say get a hotel just outside of the Old Town that's got a pool, chill in there all day, and then go into the Old Town for meals on an evening, because it's got loads of lovely restaurants in the Old Town. It's not got loads to do outside of that. The cable cars, I definitely recommend that, along with the roller coaster thing that was at the top. You get great views over the whole of Kotor Bay up there, and definitely do that in an evening as well so you can see the sunset. All the restaurants were good though, so definitely recommend visiting those. The food wasn't as good as countries like Greece that I've been to. However, we didn't really try too much of the local cuisine, the fish and all of that, but when I did have the fish, it was quite tasty. But I'm now going to wrap up my holiday with a McDonald's McChicken sandwich to finish it off. So the food has not improved that much since coming back. It is freezing here. It's 15 degrees compared to the 30 degrees that it was in Montenegro. But I hope you all enjoyed this series of vlogs on Montenegro. And if you did, do make sure to let me know down in the comment section below. And then when I go to the next country, do let me know of any other improvements that you want to see as well. And I'll see you all in the next one.